My name is Shannon Kringen, and you're watching GoddessKRING.
GoddessKRING.
So, I am feeling kind of like I don't want to be on camera, but I'm trying anyway to share and express in some way that I can find joy in here with you on camera now. So, as I'm recording this, it is July of 2009 in Seattle, and it's a nice hot sunny day. And what's been going on with me lately is I have been helping out, volunteering at some music concert shows around Seattle at a certain place, and it's like a new thing for me. It's a new role that I'm playing, and I got to help with crowd control, and I got to kind of hear and see the show and kind of feel what it's like to play the role of a volunteer at a concert and some of the behind the scenes stuff. And also getting ready to go on a trip to the East Coast. Gonna share photos, gonna go to some art museums and art galleries. And I've never seen in Central Park, New York City, I've never seen Shakespeare in the Park, and so I think we're gonna try and get, it's like free tickets of 12th night in Central Park. That would be fun. And wow, what can I say? I started doing this video show in 1996, and so what is that? That's like 13 years. 1996, 2009, 96, 09, 96, 09. So I'm just kind of been reflecting lately on doing this show for 13 years and transitioning from being a figure model to finding a new way of making a living. And okay, let me just start by saying this show, GoddessKRING, with me, Shannon Kringen, experimental person, improv, multimedia artist person. I started this show in 1996, and at the time I was dating someone who wanted to do a political activist show, and he sort of talked me into buying a video camera that we were going to share. So in 1996 I got a camera, and he used it for his show, political environmental show, which I will not mention the name of, and to keep the privacy of that. And I decided, well, when I was a little kid, I was always wanted to sing and dance and be like Shirley Temple and be in front of an audience in some way, but I was always kind of introspective and shy and sensitive and quiet and not real socially comfortable, but like to sit and draw and paint and do art stuff. My mom is an artist, and so in her art studio with her, I would draw and paint and do little, artistic things, and she would encourage me. And my father was really into comedy and music, so I kind of grew up in a household, even though my parents were divorced, of being with artistic parents. My mom, the visual, my dad, the more performing. He was a tennis teacher, did music, comedy, whatever. So I grew up in that kind of way, and yet I had this like shyness thing. And so I used to do little concerts in my bedroom and sing and stuff. So my whole life, and in high school, I did some performing and did theater and choir and stuff, but I was kind of shy, and my forte was actually being on the tennis team and winning tennis matches and visual art and writing. I like to write a lot, and I got really good grades in my English and writing classes and stuff like that, and I love to watch films and write papers on those and essays and stuff like that. But I didn't do a whole lot of performing, only a little bit. And for years, I always wanted to perform, and I was just kind of shy. But when I got into figure modeling in the early 90s, that started something. And then when I met this person that I was dating in 96, he introduced me to the world of public access television, which I didn't really know much about at all. And so we went down to the studio together, and basically I got a camera, and then when things with him were not going very well and I was feeling extremely sad about it, we were having really intense conflict and grief and sadness in our relationship, I had the camera, and I knew that if I was told by the studio that if I did a monologue, I could put it on the air. Or if I did, if I made a video, I could just drop it off and they would air it, as a one-time thing. And then I could apply to have a weekly series if I wanted to. And so I thought, wow, my shyness is not going to stop me, because I always had these things I wanted to share and record and document and give out and put out into the world for some reason. I always had a little bit of that. And so I decided, yet I was afraid to do it really in front of people live. Okay, but I had like my magic world that I lived in private. At home, I used to like sing and listen to music and sing and do concerts, in my private room, growing up as like a teenager and stuff like that. And so I had the camera. I wasn't getting along that well with the boyfriend of mine that had the political show. And so I just poured my heart out into the camera for 28 minutes, just poured it out, poured it out, poured it out. Okay. And there was actually another show that I saw where somebody was doing something similar, where they were just sharing stuff into the camera. It was a guy, and I don't remember what show it was. It was like in 95, 96, something like that. And I was like, wow, this is interesting. And it was like, I think it was a Seattle local thing on public access, unless it might have been imported from another city. I don't know. But I was moved and touched by that. And also I had written in diaries and journals since I was 13, ever since I read the book, The Diary of Anne Frank. So I decided, okay, and then I was upset anyway, so I just turned the camera on and just poured my heart out. And then I just aired it, just aired it as a one-time only show. And then I liked it so much that then I applied and got a series, and I decided to call it GoddessKRING, because it was like, my last name is Kringen, which is Norwegian, and GoddessKRING just kind of had a nick to it, a knick-knack. Paddywhack, knick-knack, paddywhack to it. So I just decided to call myself that, and I just did it. And then I got all this feedback. I had a PO box, and I got all this feedback, and then I just kind of got in, wow, how do I affect people? What can I share, and what kind of feedback can I get? So that's kind of how the show started. My whole life kind of built up to that, and then I did that. And now, 13 years later, after doing it every week for 13 years, which sounds unbelievable to me, I feel like my show is a combination of artistic expression, but also just video diary, documenting the life of Shannon Kringen kind of a thing. And I have mixed feelings about that, and yet I keep doing it. And part of me wants to take a break from it, and I feel like I put a lot of pressure on myself to, do it, keep doing it, get it out there. And I rush through it. And yet my art, at my best moments, my art is my real passion, creating and getting lost in the creativity and the texture. And that, I have a filter on the lens right now that's kind of strange. And I'm enjoying the texture of that and and I just, for some reason, like to go like this, which, people think I'm wacky because I do this, but I just think it's fun and childlike. But part of me wants to take a break, and like, I wish that I could just let go of keep putting stuff out there and get and honor my introspective need for solitude and create better work. See, I have mixed feelings about that too, though, because I want to create high quality, creative, positive, inspiring in some way, or a real emotionally from the heart kind of audio, video, music, poetry, painting. I paint shoes and backpacks and top hats, etc., and wearable art. And I want to create that and then share it, but I seem to be kind of almost addicted to doing things really quick, spontaneous, put them on the air,